Hey guys, good morning. This is Murli from SMS. So today we're going to cover the top three fundamentals or top three three pillars of trading. What is that like you need for trading to make money or to be successful in trading, right? So first I want to say that see, trading is a zero sum game. It's a zero sum game. What I mean is when you're making money in trading, that means somebody else is losing in any trade. Let's say if you made like a 10,000 rupees in share market right today, that means somebody lost that 10,000 rupees. As simple as that. If you want to make money, somebody has to lose. So the reason I'm saying that is because you have to understand it's a long game. It's something that you have to develop, like it's a journey that you have to go through. There are certain things that you have to learn and hone your skills, and then you'll start making money. Absolutely, you can make money in stock market, but this is what it is. And we're going to cover what are those three pillars that it needs, that it takes for you to be successful. Okay, so if somebody says that I'll tell you a stock pick and then you'll make money, I don't buy that. Okay, you have to develop it on your own. You have to see what works for you, what is not working for you. And then things like that, we'll get into that in depth. But so what are these three pillars that make that successful stock traders use, right? So first one is knowledge, right? Of course, like you need, this is like operational level knowledge. You need this knowledge to actually do something. It's like a skill, right? Like you're doing some certain things, like you, what is that you need. So this is the operational level information that you need to be successful. One A, right? Second is tools, right? So of course, like any other trade, like any other craft, you need tools to be successful in it. Like an amateur will not use those tools, whereas a professional, he uses those tools. So those tools are very important. You need to understand what those tools are, how to use them, and how to set it up for yourself to make money. Simple, right? The third, I think this is the most important thing, like a lot of people would not understand and fail, is this one. The third is like trading mindset, trading psychology. What is that that you need to have like inside you? Like what is that that you have to conquer within you to actually become successful? And I'll give you a couple of examples. Let's go over that, right? So like I said, there are three, like knowledge, tools, and trading mindset, right? Let's cover knowledge to begin with. So like I said, this is like operation level information, and you can trade like a lot of things, right? You can trade like stocks, commodities, forex, options, and all. I usually don't do day trading, and I don't suggest anybody do that, but it's your personal call. Anyway, so these are like different things that you can actually trade it. It's basically like, think of it like a base unit, right? Whatever it is, it's not like such a big deal. I think once you get hang of that, uh, what the entire process, entire once you build a framework and then you start executing that, it really doesn't matter which one it is. That's what I believe. And stocks are easy to comprehend. Stocks are easy to understand. So I would suggest somebody, anybody who's starting out, I would say start with stocks, and that too longs. Like start with long stocks. When I say long, that means you're actually buying. You're not shorting it. So the difference is that when you buy, you're saying that, hey, I think today the price of this share is like 10 rupees. Tomorrow it's going to be like 15 rupees. That's why I'm going to buy it at 10 rupees. That's a fundamental belief you have, and then you place your bet on that. The short is you think that the price of the share is 100 rupees and it's going to go to 50 rupees at then, like after a couple of months. So then you short it. You'll say that, okay, you actually like buy a short position on that. Then you have uh, you need to understand what are these brokerage fees, or what is brokerage fundamentals, right? We're talking about what is online share market, and how does it work, and how to set up your brokerage, or how to pick your broker, and how much do they charge per trade, and what are these different terms that you need. The most important thing I would say is you need to understand what is stop loss. I'm telling you, stop loss is your new best friend. Okay, like fucking sink it into your mind. So what is that stop loss? How do you set it up in your brokerage, right? Then you have strategies, right? Like strategies, a number of their like strategies. For example, like 7-step investment, you have like swing trading, basically like trend following, price action trading, and like a lot of strategies that you can. So here I'm just like listing them out, right? Like I'm not saying which is better, which is not. Of course, like I know people who use like different strategies, different tools, but yet they're all successful. And I know people use exact same things, yet they fail. So it's not the actual strategy or anything. How you execute it, how you put your framework together, how you execute it, how you learn from it, how you get the feedback from it, and how to like enhance yourself. Okay, that's all there is to it, right? So what are these strategies you need to understand, and then you have to pick one, of course, right? Then you have your analysis, right? You have like technical analysis, wherein you have like your technical indicators, you have chart patterns, you have like your head and shoulders, which I usually use a lot, and or we have cup and saucer. Basically, like what a chart pattern is that uh, certain successful stocks have, if you chart a stock over a period of 50 years, right, or a stock market over a period of 50 years, you'll see that like these successful stocks have like taken off after certain patterns. So basically you do a common denominator of these and then come up with something, and so you're raising you're basically upping your bet, your chance of getting successful of buying that stock. So that's what a pattern is. That's exactly what it is. So you have a couple of things, and you need to understand what these are. Uh, don't get overwhelmed. Pick again, like pick three. I usually do a cup and saucer, head and shoulders, and one couple of more, and that's it. And so we just pick one or two or three to begin with, right? Don't be overwhelmed. That's the whole thing. Like even the reason I'm putting this video together is because I want you to put any information that comes in, right? So that like you'll have these buckets. If somebody says, hey, this is what it is, oh, okay, this is like operational level knowledge, right? If somebody says, hey, you need to overcome your fear, okay, so this is like trading mindset, right? Okay, so how do we do that? So things like that, you'll have like core buckets that you have, so you things start falling in place, and you pick what your framework will look like, your trading framework will look like, and you go from there. Right, and the other most important thing here is like rules, right? So what are these rules? You need to set up these rules for yourself. What are these rules? It covers a little bit into your trading psychology too, but what are the do's and don'ts? When do you buy, right? You need to understand that, like when are you going to buy a share? What are those rules? It's because my friend said that, because my friend's mother-in-law works at this company, and then she heard like two brokers talking about it. That's why I'm buying this share. It's not a fucking reason, right? You need to have a framework. Why are you buying a share? What is it like which makes those rules? And you don't need to reinvent the wheel. There are other people who have done that. You can follow those rules, right? But and when are you going to sell them? What are your sell rules, right? So first of all, you have to set them up, and then you have to follow them. That's a whole different ball game. That's a totally different ball game. But to set it up, right, like to understand, you need to understand what are those rules are in the first place, right? Then you have like second bucket I was talking about are the tools, right? So in tools, see, about 25 years back, 30 years back, I would say like probably your institutional investors or hedge fund managers or these professionals had like different set of tools that they use. But now, I promise you, it's exact same. You have access to the exact same tool sets. I mean, exactly same. So, and you have to learn to use them. You cannot be like be chivalrous and the day I'll do it by myself and all that crap. You have to use them, whatever it is. I'm not going to pitch anything right now, right? Like pick something which works, which is like suitable for you, but you have to use those tools here and there. If you're like just like, okay, I want to invest it and then walk away, I want to buy this stock and walk away, fine, that's fine. But if you're in it for a long game, if you want to be a trader and really be successful, you have to use these tools, right? And again, don't be overwhelmed. There are like a number of tools which bombard you. Like try make it simple and get them right. Like the technical indicators within the tools, like how do you actually use them? What are there? What are the trading platforms that you have? Things like that. And how do you basically use these tools to make and then to actually build your trading, put your setups and how you execute those and things like that, right? So that is your tools. So we covered like knowledge and tools. So now the most important thing I believe is this trading mindset. Let me tell you why I think this is the most important thing. So let's take two Java programs, right? So fresh out of college, they had like they're from the same college, they took the same courses, they're like equally good, like same IQ level and all. So these guys, we trained them in Java, like for 3 months. They went to the same training, and then we asked them to write a program. So at the end of, let's say, we give them a month of time. So at the end of the month, the odds are the program that they have written, the success of this programming at the end of first month, I would say like very similar, because everything they have the tools, the same tools, they have the same knowledge, so the odds are very like close, very high that they're close. Their success rate is very close to each other. Now let's take two traders, right? They have the same tools, they have the same knowledge. Do you think they'll be like equally successful? Hell not, heck not. Why? Because of this, because of your mindset. Because your mindset plays a very, very important role. It plays an important role in other factors too. You start drinking and it's not showing up at work, like to get your program done. Of course, it's going to affect that. But for like let's say nobody is into drinking or like in any of these crappy habits and all. You basically end up like show up at one place and then like execute it. But still, you need to have this psychology, this trading mindset, like laid out, like perfectly fine. Otherwise, I'll tell you what happens. Like you go through, you have this knowledge, you have these tools. There is a setup which comes up, which says that hey, if you execute this trade now, it's going to make like shitload of money. Meaning it's going to take off, right? But you don't conquer your fear. You have this fear, right? So you don't execute the trade. 2 days goes by, it just goes keeps on increasing, right? Then fourth day, it may not be a best trade at the best trade setup at that time. But let's say you enter in there, and it may go down, it may lose. So then your pride kicks in. Your pride then like hey, you don't want to lose. Your ego drops in, right? Yeah. You don't want to lose, so you just keep holding to that, like thinking that okay, yeah, it's going to go up, it's going to go up, things like that. So what are these, right? Like I call them four horsemen. I think like I heard it from somebody, but four horsemen of trading. You have your fear, your pride, your hope. So uh, greed, yeah, last one is greed. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's going to play an important role too. So because uh, why are you trading, right? Like of course you want to make money, but that setting aside, and when you become greedy, is you're coming from an egoistic point of view, right? So I don't know how to even say this, guys. Like I know some people, right? They actually they become like very non-attached. They execute it like a true professional. Like they execute it from like a zone. They're in kind of a zone. Like they execute the trade, and then goes up, goes down, doesn't matter. Of course, they're into like capital preservation. They don't want to lose the money and all. But it's like a game. It's like professionals. Like if you lose, there's a stop loss. They cut it out. They cut their losses. They walk away. They'll understand or analyze what the heck they did wrong, and goes and like write it down and then put in the next trade. So this process takes in your trading mindset. You have to understand your own psychology, your own mindset, like what is that which is holding at that point of time. You basically what we call as K knots, right? You start developing these K knots. Like you basically you can feel it in your tummy, right? So you have to release them, you have to let it go. So you have to understand if it is like pride or fear or greed or what is that emotion that is holding you, what is that emotion that is driving this thing to take you action. Like let's say there is no trade setup, proper trade setup, there is no buy rule, but there is greed comes in and then you buy something, right? So that's a failure, that's a failure point for you. So a lot of these failure points in trading I see is caused by your trading mindset. So you get this fundamental like set, and I think like you're on way like to make really good money in trading. So basically what we covered here is like there are three buckets, three fundamentals, three pillars, you call them, whatever you call them, that you need to you need to master, like your fundamentals, be your trading and your mindset. So start working in those lines and try to simplify things, right? Shit goes comes at you very fast, like they're going to talk about like a lot of things, but try to simplify them, like be balanced, be grounded, and I think you'll find your success. Happy journey, happy trading, all the best. Godspeed, bro.